Right, so that was better than Everton, Atalanta, Crystal Palace, etc. West Ham 2, Liverpool 2, by the way. But it still wasn't what we wanted to see. It was a point for Liverpool, not good enough. I mean, in truth, 3 points for Liverpool today probably wouldn't have made much difference to how this season's going to go. Some improvements from the Reds. Certain sections of the game, they kind of looked like they were getting back to what they do best. Other times, it was just the same old story of what we've seen, not just in the past couple of weeks, but what we've seen maybe throughout the season that has been papered over slightly. But in terms of today, you can see that Liverpool got off to a bright start, trying to move the ball much more quickly, trying to create intensity. I think like Gakpo, Elliott in particular, looking sharp in those early stages. Both combined together actually for an early chance for Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott using his right foot for the change. Don't really see that much. But yeah, so the Reds had chances. But you can see maybe what we've seen with Liverpool is that the mentality of the team is the real issue. It's not about who's playing from week to week and the lineup in particular games, even though obviously there was changes today, especially up top. Gakpo, Diaz, Elliott up the top, and Gravenberg get a start in midfield as well. So there was changes there, so you're expecting more legs. I think you can choose any combination of Liverpool's squad there, and the mentality issue is still going to be the same. Fast forward to the second half, obviously you see Klopp and Mo Salah having words on the touchline, and whether that's Klopp not having his trust in Salah or Salah not having his trust in Klopp, or the communication breakdown or whatever. These things happen. Players and managers at the very top have disagreements. We saw one with Kevin De Bruyne at Anfield with Pep Guardiola, and when you're flying, these things are a sign of a strong mentality. When things aren't going your way, then the sign that there is an issue, and I think there is an issue with the collectively at Liverpool. It did look better as the first half goes on, and maybe Liverpool are starting to lose belief in that initial messaging. Things aren't going 100% their way, and you can physically see the kind of level drop a little bit and the intensity drop a little bit. And we're seeing, from what started off, really good pressing. Endo leading the press sometimes, Gakpo leading the press sometimes, and other players kind of joining in. That intensity dropped off. Maybe you can understand it somewhat because it's the first time I think that this starting 11 have started together, which is incredible, really. It's obviously the injuries earlier in the season and then the knock-on effect of those players trying to come back and gain match fitness and sharpness and have led to that. But it's understandable that maybe Liverpool aren't always as fluid as what we'd want. But you want to see them do the basics, and the basics should be, of a Jurgen Klopp team, should be pressing collectively. And what we've seen really, really badly is, letting teams win the second ball, the third ball on occasion. And West Ham score, around 40, 42 minutes or so. And that comes from that, that drop in intensity. I don't know whether Liverpool looking towards half time or whether they just lost direction a little bit. Obviously losing a goal at a set piece is disappointing, but it happens. It happens to a lot of teams. I mean, it's poor, don't get me wrong, but the most disappointing thing for me was the lead up to the corner, because you're seeing Liverpool just kind of relax a little bit. I don't mean relax in the way that they're confident and maybe overconfident, just the body language, again, I'll come back to that word intensity. It just dropped a level. And then when you invite pressure onto yourself, when you're a team that are not high in confidence and not high in kind of this team ethic at the moment, then it's probably going to end badly for you, and it did. And it was entirely predictable for Liverpool to go 1-0 down there. It was just, was it going to be a shot? Was it going to be a through ball, a counter attack, or a set piece, or whatever? And it was a set piece, and it was poor to see. What I would say, and this isn't like trying to deflect from the result or the performance, but it was surprising to see Lucas Paqueta stay on the pitch for, I think, a really poor tackle on Alexis McAllister. I mean, obviously that could change the narrative of the game as it goes on, but I think VAR said it wasn't a clear and obvious error, which I find incredible, really, because when you just watch the replay at high speed and then watch it in slow motion, and it's a difficult job for a referee to watch these things in real time when they've got so many different things going through their head at any one time. So you think, just give the referee some help. Give him an option. Let him go and have a look at the monitor. I know you want to keep the flow of the game, but for a potential red card, I think it's a fair enough question to give the referee, and go and have a little look. And if you think it's a red or you think it's a yellow, he didn't even get a yellow, you think it's talking to, or you think it's nothing at all, let the referee that game. And I think that's another poor kind of application of VAR. But as I say, that's not the reason why Liverpool didn't get 3 points. Liverpool are the reason why they didn't get 3 points. Luis Diaz, before I get into the second half, Luis Diaz, I think, was the brightest player throughout the game for Liverpool. Again, he's someone who's played himself into form. Obviously, he had a difficult time at various times this season. He's gone through some horrendous things in his personal life. And that obviously had a big effect on him. And he's managed to kind of get through that and play himself into some real form. And he looks like he's trying to make things happen. Not that the other Liverpool players don't want things to happen, but with Diaz, he has the ability to make things happen, to force things open. And, he gets on the ball, he's tricky, he's quick, and he can move defenders around. He can kind of open up space or pretty much force his teammates to move around as well. So I think how dynamic he is has been one of the plus points, I think, of the past few weeks. He hit the post, really unlucky. I didn't see that coming. I don't know if you did. Obviously, we all expect him to try and kill the ball around or aim for the far post, and he did a reverse shot. Really unlucky. And you think, man, are Liverpool going to get any luck in this game? And they did. Second half started again brighter. Obviously, the messaging from Klopp got through there. Liverpool trying to move the ball forward much crisper, much more cleanly and much more quickly. And you make your own luck, really. And Liverpool kept plugging away. And, Gakpo gets that shot in, takes a couple of pinball deflections. Liverpool back in it. And suddenly the game has a different complexion to it. Liverpool season can maybe end a little bit brighter. And there was other chances in the game. Diaz, McAllister, Harvey Elliott, Gakpo, I think. Loads of players having chances, but Liverpool obviously have got trouble with converting chances at the moment. And it became a similar situation to the first half with Liverpool. And then we just entered similar, familiar territory. Liverpool inviting pressure onto themselves. It looked like they were in control of the game. Obviously, they're failing to put the chances away, but there was kind of more of a lackadaisical approach in what they were doing in possession, and things became a little bit sloppier, a little bit, I don't want to say lazier because maybe that's not the right word, but just that, again, the drop of intensity was palpable. And it was before the equalising goal came. It's just not enough pressure on West Ham in certain positions. Obviously, Kwanzaa could maybe do better with Antonio. Antonio's tricky in that kind of position. But really, the reality was that ball should never have come across. There was no real pressure on Bowen, probably the best player in the West Ham team. A player that I wouldn't mind seeing, play for Liverpool. Cutting on the right, his delivery is excellent. And, you're shooting yourselves in the foot there. It's like really disappointing to see is that we didn't give ourselves a fighting chance. We just let ourselves down on the basics. The substitutions came later on. Obviously, I've spoken there about Mo and Klopp and what that's about. Who knows what it is, but 3 games left now, is it? Let's get a couple of wins. So it's not like a funeral atmosphere against Wolves on the last game of the season. Who knows? Maybe Man City and Arsenal might decide that they don't want to win the league and give Klopp a farewell present. I don't expect it, but I just want to see that the team perform to the top of their ability and end the season on a high. I'm not sure where that's going to happen, but I don't think dropping out the top four there's any danger of that, or dropping down to fourth. But Liverpool really need to put some points on the board, and that's all I've got to say. It's just, what more can you say? Up the head. See you next time.